Hi everybody, this is Joshua Kirk back with you once again on YouTube. Now it's time for episode 9 of Album of the Day. Sorry, it took me a while to figure out what my next album of the day was going to be. So it took me like a few weeks to figure it out. But recently, this week, yesterday, I finally figured it out. I originally did this review yesterday, but when I watched it, I couldn't even watch the whole thing because I was kind of distracted because I couldn't see my entire face. Although the words I said were pretty good. But now here's take 2, which I'm definitely going to do a better take than this. So today's artist is an artist from North Carolina. Originally from a band called Whiskey Town in the 1990s. Now went on to do solo records in the 2000s. The singer that we know today is Ryan Adams. So I'm going to be reviewing his... Oh, I forgot to mention that even though he's from North Carolina, his roots definitely do come from New York City. Excuse me. So, I'm going to be reviewing his 6th album, and his first one with the Cardinals. It's called Cold Roses. Sorry, I got a cough drop in my mouth, so try my best to keep it in there. Just let you know that. I apologize for all the noise. Here's the cover, spine, and then here's the back of it. This is double album. Disc 1 has Magnolia Mountain, Sweet Illusions, Meadow Lake Street, Where Will You Come Back Home, Beautiful Sorta, Now That You're Gone, Cherry Lane, Mockingbird, and How Do You Keep Love Alive. And disc 2 has Easy Plateau, Let It Ride, Rosebud, Cold Roses, the title track, If I Am a Stranger, Dance All Night, Blossom, Life is Beautiful, and Friends. Released on Lost Highway Records, his first release on his 5th release on Lost Highway. His debut album Heartbreaker was released on Bloodshot Records, which is a great small record label. It's got sort of country stuff, sort of old country stuff on it. Like the first 3 old 97s records and all that. Here's the inside of it. There's like a tea party going on in there. There's like a sunset. Really beautiful artwork. I'm going to show you the booklet, which has lyrics for these songs. Okay, that's about it. And I'm going to try to talk fast and try to go fast in this video because the battery's pretty low, so I'm just making sure I talk fast, so making sure this is the final take. There's disc 1. Really cool discs. Kind of look like an old vinyl record. And I've decided that Cold Roses is my favorite album by him with the Cardinals, and probably my favorite CD from him of all time, because it's got sort of this cool vibe. It's got sort of an alt country rock feel to it, with no like fancy overdubs or any studio trickery or anything like that, like a lot of Ryan Adams albums were like the more experimental records, like Demolition and stuff like that. And it's like it's sort of like this non-polished rock record. I like both discs, especially disc 2, because it's got the more rock tunes on it. Like Easy Plateau, which has got some really killer guitar playing on it, as well as Let It Ride single, which is probably my favorite on here. Cold Roses, If I Am a Stranger, as well as some tracks on disc 1, like Magnolia Mountain, Beautiful Sorta, which is a great song, was sort of this alternative country rock feel to it that really dates back to it really sort of harkens back to his earlier work on Heartbreaker, back to the songs To Be Young is to Be Sad is to Be High, and Shake Down on 9th Street. Read those two songs off of Heartbreaker that were definitely very rocking. Okay, and Cherry Lane too, which has more bluegrass influence to it. Which Mockingbird too has that feel, but it has more of a blues rhythm than a country rhythm on it. And then there are slower songs, more acoustic-based songs, like more relaxing, like Sweet Illusions, and Rosebud. Rosebud is sort of a great song. The interesting thing about it is, instead of an electric bass on here, there's actually an upright bass. I really like the lineup on this album. Probably one of the best lineups Bryan Adams has had on the album. Like, he's got JP Bowersock on guitar. He's got Sidney Cashdollar on pedal steel, who was later taken over by John Graboff. And the original guitarist was originally taken over by Neil Casel. There's Brian Pemberton on drums, and the drummer hasn't changed, as he's always been the drummer for the Cardinals. And then there's Caffrey Popper on bass, who was taken over by Chris Feinstein, who passed away in 2009. So there are quite a bit of reasons why Bryan isn't doing anything with the Cardinals anymore, and now doing more solo stuff now. And even though most of the instrumentation on here is performed by the Cardinals, there is some guest vocals and some additional piano from Rachel Yamagata on here, and she really fits this album. Some other songs on here that are slower include Now That You're Gone, How Do You Keep Love Alive, Blossom, Life Is Beautiful, and Full, which has Bryan Adams playing everything from the guitars, the pianos, the bass, the drums, everything. And he even did some vocal overdubbing too. And Friends, which is a great way to close the album, since it's sort of a slow kind of... I like the fact that both of these discs have a slower song to be the closer of both of them. Then there are songs that are sort of building up. In particular, the song Meadow Lake Street starts out kind of quiet, kind of acoustic driven. And then it builds up, getting into like this alt rock tune that just sounds amazing. It's look tracks. And the song "Dance All Night" is sort of a cool little dance song. It's not a heavy dance song like a lot of pop music on the radio these days. You can't hear any music like this on the radio. It's just sort of a fun little country dance song that's like fun to bob your head to if you're into songs that are so catchy make you want to bob your head to it. So I think this album was great. Great overall. Definitely the best he's ever sounded out of all the Ryan Adams albums I've been listening to. So my favorites on disc 1 are Beautiful Sorta. Mockingbird, Magnolia Mountain, Sweet Illusions, and Now That You're Gone. And my favorites on disc 2 are Let It Ride, which is probably my favorite out of all the songs on here. Not just disc 2. Cold Roses. This is If I Am a Stranger. Friends. Easy Plateau. Rosebud, and Dance All Night. So, I'm going to give this album a 9 out of 10, because it's literally that good. If you've never heard of Ryan Adams, go check out this album. I would recommend you start out with his earlier work, like with Heartbreaker, Gold, and everything else, like Demolition, stuff like that. Besides Heartbreaker and Gold, there's some great albums too. This one I think is even better, so I would recommend starting this if you're new to his material with the Cardinals, not new to the stuff that's billed as solo. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for episode 9 of Album of the Day. Stay tuned for our next video, which is going to be a random update, because I got a VHS tape yesterday, a couple of Blu-rays, and I got a package from Yup Rock Records. Remember that Jukebox the Ghost review I did in October of Safe Travels in episode 4? Well, Yup Rock gave me a package with all these CDs in it, so I'm probably gonna do it related to that too. So stay tuned for my next video, won't you?